We are live. Happy Wednesday. Beautiful day out. We got a beautiful guest. Not only do we have one Adam today, but we got two in the house. Adam Green, what's up, buddy? I was gonna say brother, then I called you buddy, and I got it all threw off. So, but well, welcome to the real estate exam study group. We're gonna talk to Adam. He just passed his real estate exam. As people start filing on, you can ask Adam any questions you want live. It's 10 a.m. Wednesday morning. I think this is the earliest one we've ever done. So we'll see if everyone's had their coffee. So we're going to talk to Adam, and he's going to give us all the tips and tricks to pass your real estate exam right after this. Well, welcome, Matt. I'm so glad you're here. I've been waiting for this interview.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, I know you have to. That means you don't have to study anymore. So,
right.
But Adam, why don't we get started? Like, tell us a little about you and what's going on in your life, and go ahead.
Okay. Well, my name's Adam, and I'm born and raised, Ohioan. I've been in Columbus, Ohio, my whole life. Went to Eastmore Academy, graduated from there in '04. Graduated from Shawnee State in Portsmouth, Ohio. Came back home, and started a life. I have two beautiful boys. I have a fiance, and and now I'm on a path of, of professionalism and pursuing a career in real estate. And it's been a long road. I can't lie. It's definitely been a long road.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. And but I think the thing is, like, you work full time and you have busy with the kids and things like that. It's not easy, but it can be done.
No.
It can be done. So,
Yeah.
well, let's talk. We'll take the good with the bad, I guess. But when did you went to Hondros, right?
Yeah. I decided to go to Hondros, and right after, during the pandemic, we weren't working every day at my current job, and then they discontinued that job that I was working currently because we were going door to door, and so they just they cut that off, and I had decided to take the money that I was given to just go to school with it, go back to school. And, while we were locked down, I took all my classes, finished them, and, it started my career in real estate. Thought I'd invest in myself and see where it would get me.
So if it was pandemic, you took them all online, the classes?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I took my classes online.
Yeah, majority of students do. I always, when I talk to people, I'll say, you want to guess how many do it online? It's like 85, 90%. So it's convenient. Because
I did the live stream too.
You did? Okay. I think that's kind of better.
Yeah.
You can you can be at home in a relaxed environment, but also have an instructor that you can ask questions and stuff like that. So that's cool. That's
absolutely.
good. So, how long did it take you to get through your classes? Because you did them online. Do you remember?
Yes, mine was kind of I guess a more a faster pace. So I got done. I think mine was like a 3-week program. So I got it done really, really quickly, and I had to do it that way because I knew I was going to eventually need to start working again. I have 2 boys, a family, and which I did. And currently I work 2 jobs. I got a full-time job and I work a part-time job, and then I finally got this. And the goal is to eventually wean myself off of these. But these are, like you said, these jobs are going to be my capital. It's going to support me to everything that I need to do. And so, right now I'm working around them. But, over time, as I learn the business and things like that, I'm sure that, it will work. I'll be able to do as planned, get ready to drop 1 or 2 off until I'm full time into real estate.
Yeah, and you can, guys. I mean, and the reason why I always ask people that question is I want to show you that, you can have a full-time job and a part-time job and kids and a fiance and still go to real estate school and get past your exam. I think that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Adam, it might took him longer than he wanted to, but like he got it done. So don't give up, because Adam, when was the first you got done? In January of last year, right? When I first met
Yeah.
you, right? Okay.
Well, it was actually it was last year.
Mhm.
But I had a bunch of stuff going on. I mean, my story is I had a family member that's in with another brokerage, and when I
Mhm.
first started, I went that way and in that direction. That brokerage. I mean, for anybody that's out there, if they're interested in finding a brokerage, you're going to learn very quickly that as a new agent and me, I'm starting from the bottom. I don't have any
Yeah.
clients. I don't have prospects. So for me, this is I need somebody that's going to give me the attention I needed. And
Yeah.
where I went to at first, I mean, it's a big corporation, and I kind of made the mistake um, of kind of voicing that, my family member was my point of contact, and everybody knows, when you're working with family, sometimes
Makes
you
it
can
tough.
they can deal with you just like family, and so
I
sometimes
know.
it will kind of slow down your process. You might say, okay, well, I'll holler at him later, and you kind of want somebody to give you that business attitude to kind of take you seriously, like, hey, this guy is serious about what he's doing. There might be some roadblocks. Let's go ahead and take care of that now,
Mhm.
and that's what I ended up having to do. So it made my road to get here a little bit longer. Um,
Mhm.
Took a little bit longer for my application to go through because it went through with a different name and all of that stuff. But like you said, it was really consistent. As long as I stayed consistent, what I was doing didn't matter how many jobs I worked, didn't matter who I came across. I knew at the end of the day I was going to get done what I wanted to get done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's determination for sure. So when you um well let's talk about the things that that helped you. So what are some
Hmm.
things that like when you took the exam, you're like, boy, I'm glad I did that because this is really helping me out. Um, because you were a little different because you passed the national exam, but you failed the state, and
Hmm.
that's weird. Usually it's always kind of the
Yeah.
other way around. But what helped you? Let's start with the helping part. What did you study that you were like,
Okay.
man, that really helped me? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was obsessed with understanding the math part of real estate. Understanding the
Okay.
numbers, and so starting from that direction, it kind of gave me, you know, it gave me the idea that I need to look in this national section because I want to get really focused on the numbers. I want to get focused on these word problems, and so I started there. And I mean, of course, we have our books, but I really got online and started started taking a lot of practice exams. And see, most of the
Okay.
exams online are geared not towards the national exam because they're not all state specific. So
Right.
that
Yeah.
that
Tough
was
deal.
really why I kind of obtained more national um, prep preparedness as opposed to the state because I was online majority of the time when I was studying. For the state, I just had to quickly realize that it's the law book. For a little bit of time, I didn't really know that everything in the state was going to be just in that law book, and
Right.
that was the main roadblock for the state.
When you said you took your practice exams, is it the ones at the end of each chapter or like the final book exam in the Hondros books, or what did you study when you said that?
Okay, so
Does that make sense?
absolutely, do all of your exams. So yes,
Okay.
the quizzes in the back of the book. Want to go through those? I went through the quizzes on every chapter. I also went through the practice exams at the end of the books. And and it sounds like a lot, but when you're dedicated, when you're into it, you really you fly right through them. And it's really good with the books to start out with, because the books will, you could check your answers. Then once while you're doing that with the books, you might take a time in between, tests, to go online and sign up for something. I had signed up with PSI, their national exam. What was the national practice? Is that online
Oh, you
practice
did?
test?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah. And
$50
so
one.
yes, yep,
Okay.
$50 one, and that just kind of, I did that for the purpose of getting to understand the wording. Um, Everybody understands how the wording of the test can be a little tricky, but I
Yeah,
knew, since PSI was the one that was giving it, I want to know
yeah.
their specific wording as opposed to somebody else's, wording. So I definitely
Right.
purchased that. So
Okay. Do you think it was
studying
worth
those
50
those
bucks,
chapters,
Adam? Okay. Do you think it
do I
was
think it's
worth
worth
50
what?
bucks? The PSI
Yes,
practice exam
yes,
worth every penny?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
That's
it
a
was
good
worth.
tip.
I mean, for me, it was the most. I mean, shoot, the more you're prepared, I mean, it can't hurt, right? As long as you're getting the information that you need, as much as you need, you can't over prepare. And so I think that the PSI was just important, because so that I understood the language that I was going to be encountering on the test for the first time.
Mhm. Yeah. Did you do the CompuCrammer for Hondros?
Yes, did the Compre camera. That was the first thing I did with Hondros, and actually that was like something that I always, and I took the test a couple times. So every time before I took a test, or I always took a crammer. I always scheduled to take a crammer wherever I needed to gauge where I was at. I took the crammer, and so I felt like, hey, I got like I think it was like an 80 something, like an 84% or 85 on the crammer. So I was like, okay, I think I got this now. And so I started
Mhm.
moving out of the test.
So when you say crammer, you mean the physical, I always call it the physical one, the one that you had to do it live stream or go to the college to
Yeah,
sit down. And you did it
correct.
twice, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then
Well, I took the test. Yeah, and I took the test twice, but the the crammer, I've tried to take that as many times as I could. Um, because even though you might know, because some of the questions might be the same, it's the
mhm.
process. Learning how, once you understand the process of how to do something, or how to look at things, it's not. It doesn't matter what the situation is. The process. You'll get the correct outcome.
Mhm. What do you think was more beneficial if someone had to choose to do the $50 PSI practice exam, if they only could do one, or do the crammer at Hondros, the physical crammer, go to
The
the college?
Crammer, I think that I think the Crammer was good. I think it
Okay.
was the Crammer, because the Crammer kind of, it gives you both sides. It gives you that state side, and the state side of it, I think, was really important. Also, the questions off the Crammer were, I want to say, they were spot on. So even though the
Really?
language for PSI was there, some of the stuff that was on that test,
Mhm.
or on that practice exam, I don't remember seeing. I remember seeing, even though the Crammer was a shorter test, um, everything that was on those Crammers was on the test every time, and
Yeah.
and so it,
Yeah.
it
You
kind of
pulled from it.
drilled it drilled that knowledge into me, where even if I didn't study, I knew the material,
Right.
if that
Yeah.
made any sense, by a certain time.
No, no, not at all. And then, hey guys, we're live. It's 10:15 a.m. on Wednesday. If you have any questions for Adam, put them in the comments if you're on Facebook or YouTube, and he can answer those for you live. So, no, I agree. I mean, the questions that we put on the crammer are test questions. I mean,
Hmm.
and they're updated all the time. And the nice thing is if you do a crammer and you're getting a 60, we'll just say it's like, oh, I failed. That sucks. If you went through it and went through all the questions that you got wrong and you understood what it was, how you got it wrong, then if you retook that exam, you'd probably have a 10-15 point boost. So if you're getting
Yeah,
an 80 on your crammer, that's really good. Then you're in really
yeah,
good shape.
yeah, yeah. At first,
Yep.
yeah, the first couple times I got like a 50, then I got like a 60, and I got the 71. And I got,
71's
and I
not
kind of
too bad.
stayed at the
Yeah.
70, you know, the 70, range for a while. But then I eventually, well, I started studying other things and then coming back to it. So when I got back to it, it was really, it started to become second nature. And so then that's when I started getting really high scores. But it was just dedication. I mean, I really didn't
Mhm.
have the same understanding, honestly, of the material that I did the last time I took my final test. Like, when I went and took the test, at the facility, the real test, the first time I thought
Yeah,
I knew, what was going on, like, oh, I got this now. I done took my crammer, I'm ready. And when I didn't pass it, it's like, dang, like some of the stuff I don't remember seeing on here, or I didn't understand it like that. And I went back into studying again, and I noticed that, I just needed to be more, I need to polish up. And at once I got to
Mhm.
this position where I'm at now, like you can't ask me a question that I don't understand. Some people are just slower than others, and I'm just a little bit slower. So I needed to really kind of go back in there, polish up certain things, really get a good understanding, and to the point where now it's like it was really simple going in there taking that test. I knew that I was going to pass it when I sat down. I wasn't nervous at that point.
A lot of it's confidence. A lot of it is, but one thing it's nice if you fail it once is that
Yeah,
you know what's coming. You know how everything works, you know where to go, where to sit down, because all those nerves are over. And that's why I always say, try to go to the testing facility the week before, just so you know where you're going, so you're comfortable with that. And there's a set of that's all about confidence. I mean, that's all it is like, because Adam, you probably
right,
knew what was coming now, and you got the crap beat out of you maybe the first time, but then you'll say, no, understand what it is now. Like, I've seen it
you're right.
once. I know how to study a little bit differently, and that way, like, I won't get in trouble. So, and you took in Groveport, right? If I remember,
No, no, Dublin
you
actually.
took in Dublin. Oh, okay,
Yeah, up
Dublin. All
north.
right. Yep. That's probably the second most popular. I don't know, but which one's more? But I think Groveport does a little bit more than Dublin. So yeah, Dublin, Ohio. That's northwest. So it gets a lot of traffic
Yeah,
for
I
sure up
mean,
there.
and there were people there. There was a lot of people there when I went the last time, but and this time when I went in, I was already prepared. Before I went in there, I took my jacket off. Left it in the car so I could just go in
Yeah,
and
you knew.
because once you get in there, I remember the first time I went in there, it was almost like I had to go back out because they're like, "Hey, you can't bring this in." And you got people kept
Yeah,
leaving back, and the lady was getting frustrated because people kept having to, when they were going up there, they weren't prepared. So,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
confident that time when I went in there. Had everything off. I'm like, "Hey, give me my pencil. I'm ready to go."
yeah, yeah. That it is a lot of its confidence. Anytime I
Hmm.
hear someone say like, I don't think I'm gonna pass. I'm just gonna go take it and see how it goes. It's like, yeah, you failed. Don't
Right.
even worry. I'll tell you right now, you already failed. Don't save your $81, plus your test fee, because you're not gonna pass it. You've already set the
Hmm.
stage for sure. So, you talked about math, how you were like really diligent about studying for math, which Adam, I disagree with 100%. But but how
Right.
many math questions did you have? How many? Do you remember?
To be honest,
Been a
and
while.
it wasn't a lot. It really wasn't a lot, and
Yeah.
so
How hard were they? Do you remember what you had on there?
it wasn't. They weren't hard. I'll tell you, they weren't hard at all. Actually, it's just like what math to study, like those real hard questions that the book gives you. The PITI, all those really, really
Mhm.
difficult questions. I wouldn't get too hooked up into that.
Yeah.
Just know your proration.
Proration.
Keep it simple. Understand proration. And that process, and then
Okay.
you got a few of those questions after that, and that's it. I wouldn't get, like you said, too hung up on the math. Understand the material. 70% of the test, or more than 70% of the test, is the material. And once you know that, I mean, whatever you miss in math, I'm sure you'll make up for it in the other stuff, in the other subjects.
Yeah, you only have minimum 5, max 10 math questions. Did you
Correct.
have a lot of the math questions are? Did you? I don't know if you remember, Adam. Did you have anything about like down payment? Like if you need to put 20% down on a house and the purchase price is $100,000, how much would that be? Did you have something like that, or something with how to figure out your commission? More
Yeah, I had
practical
at the
stuff?
commission one, or I
Okay.
had one of the buyers or the sellers when they want to net. They say they might want to net a certain amount.
Okay.
So those type of questions where you have to take all the information they have in there. You're adding it together, but you got to know how to change. You got to know your percentages and how to get the percentage.
Yeah. But that's
Those type of
basic,
things. But
like fifth,
that's
sixth grade
basic
math.
math.
Yeah.
hmm
Right.
And once
Yeah. I mean,
once you and it's just a lot of that. It's a lot of basic stuff in one question. So you're doing it repetitively in one question, which seems like a
Mhm.
lot, but it's like doing a bunch of 1+1s. We're doing all of this to get to a final result.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to stay. And now they gave you a calculator, right, Adam?
hmm
Yep. A piece of paper.
Didn't use. I really don't
Oh, you
remember
didn't use
using
the
the
calculator?
calculator.
Oh,
On
are
the
you a
last
math
test,
genius,
no.
Adam?
No, I'm
Okay.
not. I mean, I use.
Okay.
It's just that the
It's
questions
easy.
that they give you, like, okay, so for commission, yes, or to get the percentage, you use the calculator for that.
Mhm.
But there's not enough questions, where you think you're going to be using that calculator extensively.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
across to you. It's like you use the calculator to get that percentage, and after that, you know what you're doing from there. And then
Yeah.
the
I
questions,
think I was
like I said,
the
there's
point.
not many much of those.
Okay. Yeah, the point what I was trying to make was Adam's like, I'm not a math genius, but like the math isn't that bad. So besides studying, or hold on, besides lack of studying math, does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
hmm
Is
hmm
there anything else that you should say, guys? Don't spend a lot of time on this. Like I did, but I kind of regret it. I think I wasted some time on that. Does that make sense? Like some things maybe you
Yeah,
studied that you thought
I
was a
mean, I
waste.
mean, people
Book
like those some of
chapters.
those math subjects, like
Mhm.
uh, the what is it? I was going to say the multiplier, rent multiplier.
Gross rent
Um,
multiplier.
yeah, that one.
That does come up
Capital.
sometimes. Yeah.
It does, and that's the most simple. I thought I got that down. You might be practicing 4 or 5 of those type of questions, but after taking the test twice, um, I don't remember seeing any of those.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
and you
seeing
can
one
spend a whole
question about personal loan.
afternoon studying
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I didn't, I
And you
didn't,
know
I
what?
didn't see that. I didn't
You
see
might just get it wrong.
capitalization. Huh?
Right. Well, you might just get it wrong, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like no
Yeah,
one
yeah.
gets it
You might just get one of
perfect.
those wrong. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
think that's the
don't
thing.
get hung up on any of those. I would, if I'm going to get hung up on any math, proration is the main one I would get hung up on, because without a
That's good.
doubt.
Good advice.
I saw that every test.
Okay.
Test more than
Proration.
once. I saw
Okay.
proration. But
Good.
other than that, everything else is kind of like it's a toss up what you may get.
Got it. Okay. No, that's good. Um, anything else you want to give give advice before
Uh,
people ready to take their exam? As the weather gets
just stay.
warmer and it makes it harder and harder to study on this inside the couch.
Yes, just stay consistent. Stay
Yeah.
consistent. Um, participate on some of those mock tests that
Mhm.
they got the real estate wizard or the one guy. I think his name's Tom or some guy with the hat. I'm sure everybody talks
Yep.
about him.
Rep agent.
Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I mean, those guys are very good and very helpful. I mean, there was times where it's like, can I really trust these guys? They're so adamant in what they're doing. I would hate to take this information because I'm invested so much time in them for it to be wrong. But
Yeah.
they actually
They will.
prepare you for the national side. Now, remember, that stuff
Yeah.
online is all about national. So,
That's true.
don't just
Yeah.
study that and then think, okay, I don't need my books and stuff. The books are going to help you stay specific and they're going to
Mhm.
be more geared towards the questions that you're going to come across. They're going to give you the hints and tricks, certain things, how to take the test, how to kind of get to the right answers and help build confidence. And that was the main thing. So, yeah, go
Yeah.
online, make sure you're studying, and just stay consistent.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I think that's the key is the consistency. Don't cram too much. There's too much
Yeah, I'm
information to
proof.
try to do 8 hours a day, just a couple hours consistent. That's like
Yeah,
anything in life.
I'm proof
Yeah.
of it, man. I know a bunch of people. I think if they would have had to take my road to get here, they probably wouldn't have did it. To
Yeah.
be
I
honest with
agree
you,
a hundred
I
percent.
stayed with it.
Yep.
I kind of had to get my head down and go back to work for a little bit, but
Mhm.
I stayed studying and I wanted to do. I stayed determined, and that's all you got to do. And I think that this is going to take me, a long way in the business because that's what it takes to be successful. You just got to be
Absolutely.
determined. So I will do that.
Determined and
And
consistent.
yep,
Yeah.
on to chapter
That's
two
right.
now.
All right. 2.0. Yeah, but listen, I know there's a lot of people out there I know personally that have been struggling with this test or even sitting for it for the first time for months and months, some a year or more. Adam, if how can they reach out to you if they want to have maybe a private conversation with you? What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can also read down or reach out to me at the website or at my email at the bottom of the screen. You
Okay.
can also reach me
Adam
on
Green and
Facebook.
Ashmont Realty. Okay.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
I'm also on Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram. Um, I'm setting up TikTok, but I mean, I'm not on there as often. But Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram, look me up. My name is Plain Jane Adam Green,
Yep.
and you can reach out to me that way. I will respond,
Awesome.
and I'm definitely I'm open all ears, to help anybody out with their career.
Good. Well, thank you so much. Adam, it was a pleasure. Thanks for coming on. It was great to have two Adams. So no matter what
Yeah.
some people probably liked you way better than me. So we'll have to have you
Yeah,
back
I'm
on. So
sure.
thanks again. Thanks again, man, for coming on. But again, reach out to Adam. His email or his email address is right there. Adam Green at AshmontRealty.com. If you have struggled, you got a full-time job and it's just hard for you to try to get in pace and, reach out to him. Adam will give you the real deal. He did it. Worked full-time job plus a part-time job and kids at home. No excuse. Get it done. So if you want to get into real estate, that's right. If you're thinking about getting into real estate, you're not there yet, reach out to me. You can hit me up on Facebook or comment below, and I'd be happy to give you the real deal on getting into real estate. So other than that, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's been really good here in Ohio. So enjoy the sun, and I will see you guys all very soon. Bye, everybody.